Hi, it's Omi. So, I'm kind of behind on posting. Like, I've got a lot of recordings done. They're just not on the channel yet, so you may just see a lot of stuff all at once. Um, Today is July 27th, I think. It's Monday. And we've been busy this afternoon. Was going to leave the house later. Glad I didn't, because it took forever to get a couple things done. First thing we did was we took Bella and went and registered her for her new school. Since we moved to a new district, we decided to go ahead. Well, she decided that she would like to go ahead and move to the new district. I work for the old district. I will keep my job at the old district for now, as long as I am able to continue doing my job physically. Then I will stay where I'm at. I still have an appointment with the neurologist on August 3rd to see if they can figure out anything to do with what is going on with my legs, my arms, my fingertips, anything like that. I get a lot of numbness, a lot of tingling, very hard for me to walk and move still. So hopefully we'll figure that out. In the meantime, back to where I was saying, my kids keep telling me I'm ADHD. I don't know, maybe I am. We went to get her enrolled, and of course they do everything online, but they didn't open enrollment until today. And I had to go in because I also had to present paperwork showing that I was in district and her birth certificate and things like that. So, but I still had to sit down and fill out all the paperwork online at one of their computers and or laptops or tablets or whatever they call them nowadays. But it was more of a computer than a tablet. But at any rate. So that took over an hour to get everything done, because it was pages and pages and pages of stuff that I had to fill out online, and then questions that I had to ask, and then I had to go from that. I had to go to do the office stuff and pay fees, and well, I didn't really have to pay a whole lot of fees because we do get some benefits, so that cuts down on a lot of the fees that I have to pay for her. And then we have to then of course we went and talked to some of the other teachers that have programs in the school that will be beneficial for Bella if she'll participate in them, that will help draw her out, maybe bring her into some friendships, hopefully. We'll see, because she's kind of withdrawn. I don't know if I've said a whole lot about Bella, but she has some PTSD and some anxiety and depression, and she has a diagnosis of DMDD, which is a difficult diagnosis for a child of 10, which PTSD is too, for a child of 10. So she deals with a lot of stuff, and so sometimes it's very hard for her to come out of her shell and make friends. And when she does make friends, she is loyal to that friend, but she is not she is loyal to them, but she's always afraid that they are not loyal to her. So it's very difficult for her. And anyway, once we got done with that, then we went over to the library, because they're having early voting in my state for a couple of things, which they might be having early voting in all states, I'm not sure, but in my state we are. So we went and put our 2 cents worth in for the couple issues that were going on in my state. And we did that, and because we moved, and even though I did change my license to my new address, and whenever I did, I also changed my voter registration. I did not do it in time for the voter's registration to get the new information, so we still had to go through a process with that, and I had to do it, I had to do a hand vote. I forgot what they called it, because my brain is not working right now. And anyway, so I had to do the hand one, which was only like one question, and then I voted for the representatives, yes or no, in my county, state legislation part. And I only had like 2 that I really cared whether or not they got back in, and mostly it was a no, that I did not want them to get back in, so I made sure to vote for somebody else. Then once we got done with that, I took some Uber Eats orders, and my kids were not happy about that, because they wanted to just go home. And granted, it is like 107, 108 out here today with no air conditioning. That is hard, and yes, I am burning up and I am hot. And I also told them that we needed to clean out the car, because my car is going in tomorrow to get the air conditioning fixed. Thank God, and thank my brother, because he is paying for it. I had a birthday on the 19th, and this is my birthday present from him, and I appreciate him and love him so much, even though he pretends that I don't exist half the time, and he pretends that I'm the baby sister that is spoiled rotten and got everything, and he doesn't like me. He really does love me, so I am blessed to have a brother like him that would literally give me the shirt off his back if that's what I needed, and so I appreciate him very much. Then the other thing, which will probably make me bawl like a baby, is I actually got a check from my ex-husband a few days ago that literally made me cry for like 2 whole days, and every time I talk about it, because I did not know what I was going to do. I do not start back to work until mid-August, so I don't even get a full paycheck until like the 1st of September. So I was really worried, but he did send me what he owed and then some, and it is enough to pay for August rent, plus it paid for some groceries and another bill or 2 that needed to be paid. And so it was quite a blessing that we got that when we did, because at the time that we got it, I was extremely stressed out. We were getting ready to go drive Uber, and it was I had both grandkids with me, and there's another video where I've got the kids with me and we're being silly, but it was really blessing. And I called him and I thanked him in person for it and told him that I really appreciated it. And he did have me, a day or 2 later, we talked again on the phone for quite a while, and he told me that he would continue to keep trying to send me money about the same time of the month. Well, he asked me if that was okay to send at that time or what time I needed it, and I told him that would be perfect if he could send it at that time, because it would be just in time for me to pay the next month's rent, and that would be fine. So there is that. So that's a blessing as well. So it's been a rough month, but it's been getting better. My children, grandchildren, my child and grandchild have been, we've been at each other's throats a little bit. I think it's just so hot. It's just so much, just so a little bit of everything. Just kind of, it doesn't last long. We just snip at each other and then it's kind of over, but we just have a lot going on, and we just don't take each other's feelings into consideration, and they forget that Omi has feelings too. So, I'm supposed to be just take everything and forget it, and I don't, and I should, and I just forget. So I've got to work on that a bit better and be a better person. But then on top of all of this, I'm having issues with my landlord, and I'm going to go, shoot. I was supposed to go today, and I forgot that it was Monday. And I need to talk to a lawyer. No, I have to go Wednesday. I have to go Wednesday, not today. I have to go Wednesday to talk to a lawyer. And so we did not get a copy of our signed lease until mid-July. And whenever I say mid-July, I'm talking like the 11th or 15th, maybe. Somewhere between the 11th and the 15th, we finally got a signed copy. However, it was after we were told that they lost our original signed lease, and they made us re-sign a copy of the lease, and they took it to make copies to bring us back another thing. Well, I made a copy, or like I scanned into my phone this second lease that we signed, because I didn't with the first one. Don't know why. I usually do that. I usually take pictures of everything when we move in. I usually do everything. Everything that I tell other people to do, I did not do when we moved into this house. So whenever she brought this second lease over, we signed it, gave it back to her to go take copies. I had taken pictures of it that she did not know, and she had said, we lost your first lease, so we need to have you sign this one so that we can get copies and get back to you. And I'm like, well, that's awfully weird, but okay. And when she left, Dee even asked me, because I had Dee sign it with me, because she's also on the lease, and Dee was like, I think a couple things were changed on that. And I'm like, I feel like a couple things were changed too, but I can't prove it because I don't have my first lease. Well, she didn't bring it back that night, and she didn't bring it back the next day either. Now, in the midst of talking about this, since April, when we moved in, we have been asking for a signed copy of the lease. We have been asking for a new refrigerator because the one that we have does not keep cold, so we were losing food. It's kind of small, but that's okay. We were dealing with that, but we were losing food, which was not okay. And then, so the air conditioner in the living room was not keeping cold. The refrigerator was not keeping cold. And then we told her, we're like, we have bugs. There are cockroaches in the kitchen and the bathroom. Now, I haven't seen them a whole lot anywhere else, but those two rooms are the hottest rooms in the house. And I'm seeing bugs in there. Well, we don't have bugs. So if there's bugs, you brought them in. I'm like, well, she's like, we didn't have bugs before you came in. So you had to have brought them in. And you can test, there were no bugs whenever you moved in. And I'm like, well, Bella killed a bug the first day we moved in. Like, I don't know what to say. She's like, well, you're responsible for cleaning them. You're responsible for getting rid of them. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, maybe we did bring them in. I don't know. I'm not saying we didn't. I'm just saying that we saw them the first day we moved in, but we're having issues with them because they're in the two hottest parts of the house. And it's very hot in here. And she said, well, we just need to clean the filter of this air conditioner. Now, mind you, this is a room air conditioner, okay? We've got 3 window units. One in my room, one in Dee's room in the back of the house, and one in the living room. And these are window units. So she cleaned out the filter in the window unit. See, that's so much better. No, it wasn't. So I bought room gauges, room thermometers, and put in my room, the living room, the bathroom / Bella's room, because I move them from one room to the other depending on where I'm going to be, to see. And right now it's staying in Bella's room. I haven't had the bathroom for a little bit. I had the bathroom in the beginning, and then I moved it to Bella's room. And then I have one in the back room, which is the laundry room. And you walk through the laundry room to get into Dee's room. And so I've been taking pictures of them quite often, so you can keep track of the air to see how warm or cool or whatever the temperature is. And the living room stays in the 80s. The laundry room stays in the 80s. The bedroom and bathroom stay in the 90s. Low, like Bella's room stays in the between 94 to 98. The bathroom stays between 89 to 96. And then I put a fan in there whenever I'm in there taking a shower. So I do not, well, I keep a fan on most of the time whenever I'm in the bathroom doing whatever I'm doing. And the living room stays, depending, it usually stays around 86-ish, 84 to 88, depending. And then my room will stay between 79 to 88. And then if I shut the door, like whenever I shut the door at night, then whenever I wake up, it can be anywhere from 68 to 75. And then, but that's at night after I've shut the door. There's no other air coming in or out, and the lights are out. And I had heat exhaustion a few weeks ago, and because my house was so hot, it has taken a lot longer for me to get over the heat exhaustion, because even whenever I would come in from outside, from going to run errands or driving or whatever I needed to do, I was not getting cooled off in the house. So it's taken me a lot longer to get cooled off. And so I've got a lot of that documented. I've got the fact that we asked her about the refrigerator, and she told us that the house did not come with a refrigerator, that the last tenants just left the refrigerator. And so when we came to look at the refrigerator, she said, "We'll just leave it here if you need it." And I said, "Yeah, that'd be great. If you want to, if you leave it, that's fine. We don't really have a refrigerator, so we'll take it, and or we'll use it," is what I said. And she said, "Okay." She said, "Now it's kind of small, so if you want a different one, we'll replace it and put in a bigger one. We've got a bigger one that we'll put in." And I said, "Yeah, if you got a bigger one, we'll take a bigger one." Well, they started to put in a bigger one like the week after we moved in, and half of it, you heard that correctly, is still on my front porch because they never finished moving it in. So I've told her after that, this refrigerator's not keeping up. My food's running, it's not keeping cold. Well, we don't have to give you a refrigerator. The last tenants left that refrigerator. This house does not come with a refrigerator. So you need to replace it. You need to get your own refrigerator. Okay. So the landlord is not responsible for the refrigerator. Nope. We're not doing anything with that refrigerator. It's the last tenant left it. It's your responsibility to replace the refrigerator. Okay. So, after my granddaughter's milk, and I went from a gallon to a half gallon to a pint. So after that last pint spoiled, because she had only gotten one bowl of cereal out of that, then I called her dad and said, "Do you have any kind of refrigerator that we could use? And if so, trade you out. Like, I don't know what to do." She said she's not doing anything with the refrigerator, so if you can get this one out and get me a different one, then, can you do that? So they brought us a small one, and it's just like a dorm refrigerator kind of refrigerator. Now we have a stand-up freezer, so I'm not worried about the freezer. It's just the refrigerator. And so we switched out the refrigerator for this dorm refrigerator. And I told her the next day, I'm like, "You don't have to worry about the refrigerator now." Oh, and she kept saying, "Whenever I get my new refrigerator." She said, "Well, whenever I get my new refrigerator, if I can get somebody to help me, we'll just replace yours with mine. I'll bring mine over and you can have mine." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." But she would say that, and then I would say, "My food is running." Well, it's not my responsibility. The house doesn't come with the refrigerator. We don't have to replace your refrigerator. Okay, so now I'm replacing it. And I tell her, I said, you don't have to worry about the refrigerator. I replaced it. Well, what did you do with the refrigerator? I'm like, well, the guy hauled it off because it wasn't working. Well, you have no right to do that. I'm like, you literally told me that you're not replacing the refrigerator, that the last tenants left it, that you didn't want anything to do with it because it's not, and I said, and it wasn't working, and you told me that if I could replace it, just do it, because you're not doing anything with the refrigerator. And she said, that is not what I said. She said, that refrigerator comes with the house. You have no right to move it. And my boyfriend, whatever his name is, my boyfriend is going to take that refrigerator and he's going to put it in the basement of our house and he's going to fix it. I'm sorry. He's going to take the broken refrigerator to the basement of your house instead of taking the good refrigerator that still works, that you're replacing at your house, and putting the good one that works in the basement of your house because that's the one you were going to give to us. That makes no sense. Well, I got the refrigerator back. We've cleaned it up. And she keeps saying, and that was pristine. It was so cleaned out. Lady, you left it completely frozen up in the freezer. In fact, you told me to take a hairdryer just to defrost it, which is possible. I did it whenever I did housekeeping at a retirement home years ago. But it was not pristine, and I guarantee you I'm going to leave it cleaner than what you gave it to me. But it's things like this that is driving me batty. She yelled at me because I don't keep the lawn mowed. Okay, yes, that is on me. I should keep the lawn mowed. But it's going to take $500 to get the backyard clean because the backyard is so tall. Okay, the backyard is tall. It's probably as tall as I am because they have these wild, I don't even know, they're like trees. They're not even like weeds. I mean, they are thick, rounded, like trees growing back there. And it's my responsibility to cut them all down. And it's going to take $500 because she just talked to somebody that'll take $500 to get that backyard cleaned up. And it's a fire hazard. Their insurance, the landlord, she's not even a landlord, she's the property manager. The landlord's insurance is threatening to immediately quit, drop insurance because that's such a big fire hazard. Even though it's only been that way for a few weeks, maybe not even a month, because she mowed it herself like a month ago because she couldn't handle it. It was just too much and she just wanted it done. And I'm like, well, she said, you told me whenever you moved in that you had somebody that would do that. I said, I did. I had three different guys and all of them backed out. I said, and until I go back to work, I don't have the money to pay for them to do it. And I don't have money for anybody to pay for it. Well, you're the one that said you had it done. I said, well, I didn't know that you were going to be in my business every day either. I'm not in your business, but this yard is my business. And I'm like, well, I'm trying really hard. So between the yard, the refrigerator, and then me asking, and what about the air conditioner that does not work in the living room? All three of those were in the same conversation. After having multiple conversations differently throughout the 3 months or almost 4 months that we've lived there, we finally got a new air conditioner in the front room. A little bitty, probably 1,500, maybe like, what is it, BTU, I think, that goes as far as maybe 8 to 10 feet. You can reach, if you go straight forward, 8 to 10 feet, you can fill the air conditioner, but that's it. It does not even cool off the whole front room, much less the kitchen and the bathroom. And I'm like, seriously? But she hasn't been back over. And anytime she wants anything, she calls Dee. She doesn't talk to me. And that's fine. But I am going to talk to a lawyer and find out what our options are. Because I don't think this is the right place. I don't think... But when we got the lease back, so the whole point of that, because I ramble and I'm really sorry, the whole point of that is when we did get the signed copy of our lease back was, one, they did add some stuff in there. She had written some stuff in there about bugs being handled on our own, and bugs and fleas, dog dander, and that not only was she going to be $50 to clean up after us, it was going to be $50 an hour plus for every hour she had to take time to clean in that place. And I'm like, it's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 3-bedroom, 1-bath, laundry room and kitchen. That's it. It does not take 14 hours to clean this house. Even if we move out, even if we left it the way it is right now, it still would not take more than 4 hours maximum to clean the house. Even if we left everything that's in it right now. We wouldn't, of course. I mean, we would clean before we leave. That's obvious. I'm just saying. So this lady is setting us up to fail. She charged us for our service dog for the deposit, even though I specifically told her that he was a service dog. I showed proof. I showed all of the identification. She still made me pay the $200 for him. And I said, we're not supposed to do this. And she said, then don't get the lease, because she knew how desperate I was, because I had to have someplace to live. I should have just walked away then, and I couldn't because I didn't have anywhere to go. I know. Blast me in the comments. It's okay. I probably can take it. Let's see, what else did she do? The refrigerator, the air conditioner, changing the lease. And then when we got the lease, part of our original lease that we had signed, she had put those pages, she had replaced some of them that we had just signed back in, replaced the new ones with the old ones, like put them back in. And then the owner's signature had been scribbled down there. I do not know my landlord's name. I do not have a phone number for him. I do not have an address for him. All I have is the property manager's name, phone number, and that she is staying with her daughter next door. I don't even have an official address for her. And so I'm like, surely somebody can help me do something with this. And then before we walked away the other day, I even told her, I said, look, if we're not the right tenants for you, then we need to sit down and talk about this and figure out what we need to do. I said, because you're not happy with us as tenants, then we need to sit down and figure this out. So I don't know what needs to happen, but I have a feeling that maybe this isn't the place that we should be living. But I don't know. But I'm really frustrated. And I'm really hot. Like I said, it's 107 degrees whenever I came. I'm actually at the car wash. I'm not getting my car washed. I came to clean out my car so that whenever I take it to the shop tomorrow, it won't look like a pigsty from everything that's in here. So that's why I'm just sitting out here in my car doing this and kind of giving y'all a quick update. But you're going to see, I'm going to have some other uploads probably before this that are more in line. Like I'm going to try to do them more in line and try to keep them more updated, but you might get bombarded like all at once, and I'm sorry. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, and you know what? Life really is better with Omi. Just sometimes it gets a little rough. So have a great day.